The fantasy football.
What up, Entourage? I'm back. And I thought I'd bring you something new here. And I want to start incorporating more things into my repertoire. For those who don't know me, DFS has been a passion of mine. I've won over 6 figures in DFS. I've made it to the DFS championship. So I figure, why not start making some DFS content, because I love DFS. It's a whole totally different mindset to season long, but it's exciting. And you know right away whether you won or whether you lost. A lot of competition. And today's video is going to be about my top 10 plays in DFS for week 3. So if you're into DFS, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Also, if you're in season long, I do have premium content that's only $20 for the whole season. It includes 4 emails a week, my hidden gems and waiver wire finds, my complete list of trade targets, my rankings that come out every Thursday and then are updated and sent to you every Saturday evening. If you want to be in my private group where I do exclusive lives and you're guaranteed all your questions to be answered, that is $70 for the whole season. For the whole season, and it includes the premium content, a lot less than a lot of my competitors who don't offer the service, or if they do, it's $50 a month or more. So it's a really, really, really good value. And if you want my actual DFS lineups, that's $50 a month or $200 for the season. Same thing with my bets, $50 a month or $200 for the season. So yeah, you can email me about that, or I'll have some links for you guys. If you're into crypto, we're going to be doing some big things with that as well. I've already launched the first ever fantasy football token. We're going to be doing some NFT stuff. So chances are, if you're watching this, you like to gamble, you like to make money. And yeah, so just click on the link, fantasytoken.io. Now, for the reason we're here. All right, so I'm going to go over my top 10 plays for DFS. Beginning at the quarterback position, I like this guy, Justin Herbert. All right, we're not going to do a lineup, but I guess I put him here. As you can see, actually, let me take him out real quick. As you can see, Justin Herbert is going against the 29th most generous, or I should say, Kansas City ranks close to last against points allowed to quarterbacks. Now, Justin Herbert, he's probably a player that's good, that a lot of people are going to be fading. Okay, a lot of teams are, a lot of the DFS players are probably going to go Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson against Detroit. Herbert hasn't quite been lighting it up, but at 6,500, here's the thing. Look at Herbert. His first start was against Kansas City. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I kind of like that. And then the other thing is, this will probably be a high scoring game. His first 2 games, he threw for over 300 yards, and he's just not getting the touchdowns. I think that will end this time. And I think for 6,500, he is a tremendous value. Okay. Now moving on to my running backs. There's quite a few running backs that I like this week. And one of them is Austin Eckler. Yes, Austin Eckler also played very, very well against the Chiefs. They are very suspect to pass catching backs. And yes, he's quite expensive, but there should be points scored this game. Eckler has looked really good, coming off a really good game against Dallas. He's also getting goal line work. So I really, really like Austin Eckler to pair up with Justin Herbert. Who knows, we might get the touchdown stack. Herbert to Austin Eckler. I could see them connecting for a big play as well. All right. Another running back I like, I've been talking about him a lot in season long, is Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley is 6,500. If somebody would have told you Saquon Barkley is 6,500 2 years ago, you would have been having him in all of your lineups. But things change. A couple injuries later, and Barkley is 6,500 against the Atlanta Falcons. You got to at least put him in one of your lineups. I mean, the Falcons, They're not a good team. They're one of the worst against pass catching backs. So I expect that to come back for Barkley. He looked explosive. He played 80% of the snaps. So the value is there. So his floor is what we saw against Washington. I know you score a lot of points, but you got to like the snaps. Had a couple of targets. You got to expect those numbers to only increase. He's got the extra days rest, being that was a Thursday night game. So 6,500 against the Falcons at home. I believe this is Barkley's breakout game, and I believe you're getting yourself an absolute steal to get a full workhorse Barkley for 6,500. My next guy is Antonio Gibson. Yes, Antonio Gibson's only 5,900, which we're going to look back at this and we're going to be like, that's insane. And I get it. Buffalo is a very, very good defense. But Antonio Gibson, if you look, he has looked very good himself. Now, the first game, 90-plus yards rushing. It's kind of like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has looked good. He's produced a lot of yards, but hasn't got the touchdown. First game, he had 90 yards rushing, didn't get the touchdown, had a couple targets, couple passes. Second game, only 69 yards rushing, but he only had 13 attempts. I think game flow was really the main reason we saw McKissick, because in week 1, we didn't see him at all. Patterson played more than him. So I believe we'll go back to getting Antonio Gibson the rock. Buffalo, very good defense, but they're even better in the secondary. And I believe they're going to try to neutralize that defense, especially on the road. They're going to lean on Antonio Gibson for 5,900. That's an absolute steal. Next on my list is another name that, and that's the other thing, I bet a lot of people are going to be fading Gibson, so that also makes it attractive as well. Next name on the list is CEH. Now, yeah, CEH is not played good, but man, he's getting close to 70% of the snaps. That in today's day is a full workhorse. A full workhorse in a game that's going to have a lot of points for 4,800. That is an absolute steal. I don't care what anybody says. He's still getting touches. He's still getting snaps. There should be a lot of points. And the Chargers suck against the run. They suck. Those 90 yards, not that, Gibson could do this against anybody, but they gave up 90 yards to Gibson. Zeke and Tony Pollard tore him a new one last week. So I really, really like CH. Plus, I'm sure, players hear the whispers. Patrick Mahomes had to defend him after that fumble. I think he's going to come back in a big, big way. 4,800 is an absolute steal. You can use that money and save it to the receivers where, they're a little more pricier. However, there's still some good deals at receiver as well. So my receivers, I like. Talk about, and you'll see a theme here. A lot of these players that I'm picking right now are players that haven't quite, busted out yet, broken out yet. And DK Metcalf, he's not cheap, but he's cheaper than Tyler Lockett. And for me, he's the better receiver. He's had more targets. The other thing I noticed when I watch film is that they're moving him around. They're putting him in different places. He's played about, I think, I want to say like 20%. I might be getting him confused with AJ Brown, but I think he might be playing 20% in the slot. So that shows me that he's just not that deep threat anymore. It's going to come, guys. It's going to come, and I think it's going to come in a big way. As you can see, Minnesota, 28th worst defense for receivers. A talent like that, in a matchup like that, probably a lot of points going to be scored. According to Vegas, those guys don't miss. DK Metcalf comes through in a big way and will return that 7,300 value. Now, look, the guy right below him, similar situation. Hasn't really quite, busted out yet. Like DK, had a game with a touchdown. But I believe this is the week it all comes together, because I'm sure Minnesota's licking their chops to get Jefferson lined up with Trey Flowers, who was atrocious. Julio Jones had 100 yards, I believe, like in the first quarter or at half. And now he's playing at home. He's due for a breakout. And the minute he gets Trey Flowers, believe that ball is going to Jefferson. He's going to have a big play, a touchdown, maybe two. Who knows? But whatever the case may be, he is going to deliver for you. And he is a must start in your DFS lineup. Okay. Now, this guy won't surprise anybody, okay? The first 2 weeks, he's been the best receiver in fantasy football. So why is he only 6,800? I don't know. I think it's crazy too, especially when he's going against the Buccaneers backup slot corner. So he's literally going against the Bucs fourth corner. Yeah, you got to have Cooper Kupp in your lineup. 6,800 is an absolute steal, and it's the game that's slated to have the most points. I don't think they're going to have the most points, at least not the Bucs, because the Rams have a really good defense. Last time Tom Brady faced them, it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl ever. But Cooper Kupp is the man. Safe floor, high upside. Gotta get your cup. All right. Now, moving over to the tight ends. Got one tight end for you. I mean, he's been the best tight end. Well, can't even say he's been the best because Travis Kelce has got, I think I saw a stat. He has like 6 straight games of over 20 plus points, which doesn't even make sense. He's the third. If you put him with wide receivers, he's the third best wide receiver in fantasy, and he's playing tight end. That's nuts. That's nuts. So, but besides Travis Kelce, because he's a lot more expensive, I like, of course, TJ Hawkinson, still only 5,200 against the worst defense against tight ends. That is going to soon catch up. He's going to be, you're going to be paying at least $1,000 to $2,000 more by the time this is all said and done. So, yeah, you got to have Hawk in your lineup against Baltimore. And as good as he's looked, it's ridiculous, guys. It really is. All right. And yeah, there you have it. Those are my top 10 DFS plays for this week. There's some sleepers I like and things like that. I'll probably be, well, if you guys like this type of content, I'm going to try to make more of this type of content. Again, if you want my full lineups, it's $50 a month, $200 for the whole season. Obviously, that's the better play because it takes you all the way through the Super Bowl. It doesn't just stop at the regular season. So tremendous value there. And you get access to my private Discord. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, as usual, comment down below. Reach out to me, fantasyfootballrapper@gmail.com for any one of my products. And again, fantasytoken.io. It will be changing the way fantasy football is played on the blockchain, NFTs, so much coming your way. Until next time, peace.